Yo, 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 what's going on with y'all? It's your boy Convo and Marlo. You know what I'm saying? Today I got a special guest with me here today. Who do I have the pleasure of being here with?
Esme Cruz. Yeah, certified nail technician.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Before I dive into anything, I want to ask you how you feeling. What's going on?
I'm feeling good. I'm seeing family for the holidays, so it's super nice to be back in Edmonton.
Okay, okay. Don't you think you came back at a badass time though? The weather's
The
crazy.
weather's terrible, but it was snowing so bad in Van, so it's like the same thing pretty much. Like wherever you go right now, the conditions are terrible. But at least here, family keeps you warm, so
Oh no, that's
you know,
true. But it's like the thing to me, Vancouver cold and Etown cold.
two
You know,
different things.
two different. Cause
Two
here
different
it's like
things.
minus what? I think now it's warmer, minus 23,
Yeah,
which is last week it was like minus 41 for a straight week. You know,
yeah.
and then Vancouver y'all again like plus 2, -2.
It went down to like -9 the day that I left, and
Yeah.
here it was like -41. And bro, everybody in Van was crying, like pissing themselves. Like it was so bad. The road conditions were so bad. They were closing businesses,
Down,
schools, everything, and it was -9,
down.
and the sun was out.
That's crazy. -9 here. Everything is open. People outside, shorts, shirt.
Yeah, I
You know,
saw somebody in shorts today
of
on my
course.
way here.
No, that's how they are. And let me guess, non-color, someone of no color.
Very much giving mayonnaise.
Nah, and that's why I never understood. Yesterday, right before I linked Montana, I went to Canada Post. I saw this big brolic white dude, no pants. This guy was wearing like I don't even know like basketball shorts, wife beater, walking in and out of in a LD mall.
Yesterday was pretty cold though.
Nah, yesterday was bad,
Yeah.
and this guy's wearing
You
all
know
that.
who's crazy? The postmen that be in shorts at this time. I've had some deliveries and they're in shorts, and I'm like, damn. But to be honest, maybe the walking around keeps them,
Nah.
you know?
There's no activity that I could be doing that'll keep me warm in this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Nah, the thing's not normal. It's got to be illegal to be this cold. You know? Um, what is it that you do? You know what I'm saying?
So originally, like last year, I started off as an artist. I was doing paintings. I did a few paintings for you and
Hmm.
your business as well. And then once I moved to Vancouver this year, I kind of, I really got into nails. I got a Christmas kit one time that had like all the nail supplies. And I was like, okay, let me just start on some friends. And I started on some friends here while I was living here. When I
Hmm.
moved out there, I got a full-time job that was paying me super well. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to start funding my own business and start taking clients from my crib because it was my first time living on my own. And honestly, Montana gave me the liberty to do whatever I wanted with the certain space that we had. So I just started taking clients. I started off super, super cheap because I didn't know what I was doing. But it went really, really well. I was super impressed with myself. And so then I just thought, okay, well, I'm going to keep doing this the whole summer,
Mm.
eventually go to school, become certified, even though I originally planned to be self-taught. But I just wanted to take like a course to kind of specialize in some stuff, also to learn more about nail anatomy and like fungus and like how to prevent
Down.
them, or what services you can or can't do on certain people that have infections or stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I went to school. It was a few months. I just finished like 2 weeks ago. So I'm officially like a certified nail technician.
Yes, sir.
But I already knew what the hell was going on before I even went to school. Like I went to class and the teachers were nice and stuff, but honestly, I taught the whole thing.
Like
Like,
you taught it.
yeah.
No way.
Like the first 2 months, it was like just manicures. So we would just paint each other's nails. Like that's it, right? Then the second 2 months, it was just artificial nails. So like all acrylics, gel,
Hmm.
everything to do with like long nails. So we did that. But to be honest, my teacher was so like all over the place, super unorganized. Like she had a really thick accent. So a lot of the
Where was she
like
from?
she was Japanese. So a lot of the
Um.
immigrant students, like from India and stuff,
Hmm.
they had no clue what she was talking about half the time. And I come from a family of like strong immigrants, right? So like I grew up my whole life teaching people things, like teaching my parents how to speak or how
Dead
to
eyes.
do
Yep.
certain things, right? Like that came with my job as the oldest child.
Hmm.
So now for me, it's like teaching people comes at such an ease because I'm a very patient person, and I always feel like I'm teaching people like I was teaching my parents, you know? So I try to be super smooth about it, very patient and understanding. So a lot of the students in my class that had a difficult time picking up like acrylic and stuff like that, because I already had experience, I just kind of, I would sit down with them. I wouldn't even do my homework, and the teacher was fine with it because everybody else had to spend their whole day practicing a full set of nails. But because I already do that for a living, the teacher was like, it's cool if you want to help out, you know? So I would go around, I would sit around with whoever needed help, and I would teach them like individually, one-on-one, just how the whole process works, how I do it, what my tips are, because I watch a ton of YouTube videos, right? And so sometimes you get those little ideas from places all over the world that could help you like be quicker or more efficient or whatever, right? So there's no one correct answer for nails. And so to be honest, I just kind of incorporated what I knew, shared it with my class, and by the time we graduated, honestly, they didn't care to tell my teacher that I taught them the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing. Everybody was like, honestly, I learned what I know because of Esme. Like I just kind of, I wanted to be that help, you know, because I know that sometimes that's my parents that needed that help, right? And so to know that there's somebody there that can help them, it will make me feel good, right? So these people, they're also somebody's parents or somebody's kids or somebody. So I'm like, I want to be able to help them so they're also successful. But we were all at different stages in our lives. Some people were 40, some people were 27.
There was a big age gap in the class.
Huge age gap. The youngest student, we became super, super close. We're 1 day apart. Like our birthdays are a day apart.
Same year?
No. She turned 18 this year, and I turned 21. Yeah. But we're a day apart, and she flew out to Edmonton for our birthday, and I flew out to Edmonton too, so we celebrated together. Yeah. And we've been so close ever since. And then the oldest was like 40 almost, and she had like 2 kids, and you know, she was just, honestly, people were there for different reasons. Some people were there to start managing their own salon, and some people were there to just learn, and some people were there to become like an at-home tech, you know? So everybody was at different stages for different reasons, but it was really, really fun. Like school felt like, it didn't feel like a chore anymore, you know? Like how high school felt like.
Because this is something you actually enjoy going to.
Like if you're genuinely interested, it never feels like a chore, right? Same with the work. Like they always tell you, like, if you do something you love for a living, you'll never feel like you're working.
You actually work. Yep. 2 things I want to get onto you, or I want to ask you about what you was just talking about. The parent thing. How you said you had to teach your parents English, and trust me, I know that struggle, especially when you go out in public, someone's talking to your parents in English, and then they nod their head, yes, and then look at you for translation, you know? I hated that, but that's low-key how it was for me too. Like all the English they know is because, bro, I had to do all that translating thing. And then when you said you basically taught the class, have the thought ever came to you of maybe like becoming a teacher later on? Or you thought about it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with the success I've had, and I've only been doing nails for, I'd say 5 to 6 months. There was like one slow month that was like super, super slow for whatever reason. It just happens as a business owner. Sometimes months are super slow. But to put it in like general context, I've grown like 100 followers every month since I've started. Yeah. And so without a certification or without prior knowledge, like for me, that I feel like that's super impressive, you know? Yeah. I have clients now in Vancouver and now here in Edmonton, and they're both reaching out for me to stay in either location, right? So like right now it's like super, super chilling. But yeah, that whole English thing and the teaching thing, I'm thinking like someday I really want to be a teacher. Like I just want to be able to teach people. There's a girl I follow on IG, and she's from Victorville, California, and she teaches classes, like nail classes in Spanish only. And I think that's so, so dope. Like, just because I know that there's, especially like out there in Los Angeles and stuff, right? There's a ton of immigrant, like Latin speakers, like all kinds of people from all over the world that don't speak English, because they have small communities, right, of certain people. They don't have to learn English. Like in LA, like a lot of the population speaks Spanish, and they probably won't ever learn to speak English because nobody else speaks English.
They don't have a reason to.
They don't have a reason to. Their work, their managers speak Spanish. Like wherever you go in a Walmart, the clerk speaks Spanish,
Yeah.
so they don't have a reason to learn, you know. But when it comes to school and stuff, they have to do it in English. So this girl has made it so that a lot of like Spanish speakers could also learn to become nail technicians. And so that like definitely inspired me, right? Because it's like my life. Like I've taught my parents English my whole life, and I taught my class nails. And so eventually I feel like if I could incorporate that and make other minorities as successful as I probably will be, because I hope I am, then I feel like I'll do a really, really purposeful job on this earth, you know? Like I'll feel fulfilled teaching people, or every day is just a different lesson, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So when last time I had you on, you had that whole painting thing going on, and obviously you're now into this whole the nail world. What made you kind of be like, yo, this is the route I want to go rather than the painting industry?
Well, because when I started painting, I was super into it. And I remember I told you last time, I was like, when I do paintings, they can take me up to a single day. Like I could finish it in one day, right? Like I'll spend maybe less than an hour just sketching it, and then the rest of it is just painting. But that whole process of painting sometimes just takes a lot of time. You have to wait for it to dry. You have to like wait for, you know, certain layers to dry to do the certain details. Like it's like a little bit of a journey. But I think what made it like less interesting for me was the fact that I did it by myself. Like I kind of didn't like that. Like I could just have it like the TV in the background, but I could only have TV on the background for so long until I'm bored. You know, then I would have to listen to music, but the same playlist would play. Like it was just getting really, really boring, like very repetitive. But I still kept all my painting supplies. Like I'm still into it. Like I feel like I'm still an artist, you know? It never goes away. But also as like a professional, I didn't feel like painting was such a career for me that could take me to other places. Like it wasn't something that I was like, oh my gosh, I want to be like Da Vinci or something.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It was just kind of like a hobby thing. And I'm really, really like appreciative for your support. Like when you asked me for all those paintings, and I owe you one. But
I'm waiting on it.
it's coming, don't worry. Because I live here now, so I'll probably get it done soon. But yeah, and then once I started kind of with that small little nail kit, I was like, you know what, I kind of fuck with this. Because I was doing it with my friends, right? And we were like at her house, listening to music, chatting up. Like
And
it's
it
such
felt like a vibe.
it's such a vibe. It's
Yeah.
such a one-on-one moment that like you don't really get with people. Like it's really hard to go link your friend and go sit there for like 2 or 3 hours and just chat. You know, like you have to do something, right?
Yep.
So now that I did nails, I was like, this is so much more fun. I have people coming in and out of my crib, and each person has a different story. So every time we're talking about something different. So we're talking about things we have in common, controversial topics. Like I've also thought about having like a 420 podcast doing nails, so that I could just have one mic for me, one mic for my client, do their nails, and we're talking about like Reddit stories or something, you know? Especially while we're stoned, like I feel like that would be such a content that like even I would want to watch it, you know? I've thought about that too. But yeah, it's such a meaningful like experience for me specifically, because I get to know all these people like genuinely. Like just yesterday, I feel like I made 2 friends, you know, like 2 super dope friends that I'll see again, and it won't be weird because we've been following each other on Instagram for years, right? And I've never met these girls, and then they booked with me right away. And we just had such a great time. We talk about like our horoscopes, like how similar we are, stuff like that, you know?
Do you believe in all that though? All the signs and all that type of stuff?
I feel like it has. I mean, I've yet to be wrong. You
Oh,
know?
you've always been right.
I've always been right. Like, well, I don't know every single like zodiac's like personalities, but like for example, like Gemini, right? My uncle's a Gemini, and he told me that, and I was like, okay, you're super vengeful. Like if somebody does you dirty, you like to get your lick back. And he's like, how did you know that? And I was like, you're a Gemini. You have 2 faces to you. You have one that you show to the world, and one that you keep to yourself. And he's like, what the fuck? Like,
So if I told you I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, I don't know nothing about Capricorn.
Nothing about that?
The only thing I know about a Capricorn is you guys like to be in control a lot of the time.
I feel, yeah. Low
like
key.
you guys don't really like other people taking your like you kind of want to make sure you're planned out and thorough, you know, with your decisions. Like other people can make choices for you, but in the long term, you like to be the decision maker.
Yeah. She
right?
no, I mean, yeah, that's true, but like, I'm so skeptical with that whole horoscope thing because, I mean, I could be wrong. I just feel like it's just so general. Could be saying the most
Yeah.
general thing about like, what are you?
I'm
Watch,
a
I'll get
Scorpio.
one. You said Scorpio.
I'm a Scorpio.
Um, Scorpios, soft spoken, and when someone tells you to do something, you just do it.
But that's just me. Like I feel like because you know me now, that's
Nah,
just
you
me.
see, nah, nah.
Because
You see what I'm
there's
saying?
two kinds though. There's
Mm.
two kinds because you can have a male Scorpio and a female Scorpio.
There's a
I've heard
difference.
there's a huge difference.
No
I've
way.
heard male Scorpios are the legit summoned devil, like
No
in
way.
disguise. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like as a Scorpio, you're a water sign, right? So
Mhm.
you're very emotional. Like if you think about it, emotions come with water, tears, stuff like that, right? You're
Mm.
very flowy. Like me as a person, as a Scorpio, I'm very go with the flow. Like there's nothing that will get in my way where I'm like complaining constantly about it, you know?
Mhm.
I'll just do it. That's why you were saying like if somebody tells me to do it, I'll just do it cuz I'm such a go with the flow type of person
Mm.
that I'm a, like it's in the water, you know? Like water doesn't stop flowing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Same with like fire signs. Like Montana, he's a Leo, right? So he's a strong fire sign.
Mhm.
So as a fire sign, if you think about it, a flame is super passionate. When it burns like within, right?
Mhm.
It's very passionate. Him as a person, he's 100% super dedicated to whatever he's doing. Very, very passionate. Sometimes it's nice in the form of love, you know, because he's a very passionate person when he loves his people, right?
Mm.
But sometimes if he's like upset about something or angry about something, he's passionate towards that too.
Mm.
So he gets very, very angry or very, very happy because he's passionate in all ways of
Don't
his
forget
life,
petty.
you know? Very, very petty. Like he's very everything because he's a very passionate person.
Mm.
But if you think about it too, fire is also very warm. So his essence, when he steps into a room, he makes people feel very warm and welcomed, you know? He doesn't make people feel like, oh, he's so cold-hearted or something like that. He's very, very welcoming, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like me for water, again, like the emotions thing, like me as a woman naturally, women are emotionally in tuned.
Mm.
So me as a Scorpio being a water sign, I'm twice that. So I be crying for everything. I swear to God. I could sit on TikTok all day and just tears.
And just cry. What do you
Just
like?
cry.
Just whatever.
Like if it's super emotional, I'm gonna cry because it's sad. But like if it's like romantic or something,
And
I'll
you'll
be like,
you'll
oh
still
my
cry.
God. Yeah, of
So
course.
what if you go into a restaurant and you see an old man eating by himself? Is that something that would make you cry? Like seeing an old person? Because I
Okay,
heard a lot of.
if the old man is sitting there, he has a portrait of his wife across from him, I might
I
cry.
mean, nah, I would cry
That's
too.
really sad.
But I'm just saying, if you go in there, you just see an old man, woman eating by themselves. Is that something that get to you?
Depends how lonely they look. Like if you could tell they've just been there because they want to eat, that's not depressing.
Yeah.
But like if they're in there because you know they look so sad or they're just wanting something to do, sometimes it kind of hits me in my feels. I won't really start crying. But like for example, my uncle, he's a Sagittarius. This guy's super weird. Like he'll just like he only talks to you on his own terms.
Yeah.
Like he's so quiet. Like he doesn't speak unless he's spoken to. He's very spontaneous. That's what Sagittarius do. They're very spontaneous. They'll just do stuff out of nowhere and they're just like deal with it, you know? Every time. Also with Sagittarius, you can't ever know what their next move is. So that includes their emotions, right? So like sometimes I'll come up to him, I'll be like, yo, what's up? It depends on the day. Sometimes he'll be like, yo, like, Esme, so nice to see you. Other days he'll be like,
he won't even
he
reply.
won't even reply.
Jeez.
There's been so many times where Montana said hi to him,
Yeah.
and he just looks at him and walks away.
It just keeps on going.
And keeps on going. He does not care. So, like, there was a time where I thought about him, right? I was like, I feel bad for my uncle, bro. This guy has no girl, no wife, no kids. Like, he's going to probably die alone. Like, I'm just sad for him, you know? And I just started crying in the middle of a restaurant.
That's all it takes for you?
That's all it takes. Because that's my family, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel for him because who knows? Maybe he does want a wife someday. He just can't find the one, you know? But, like, it made me sad because I was like, everybody deserves to be
I
happy.
guess if you break it down like that, that's something to like actually get sad about.
Yeah.
You know, because you never know what that person's actually like feeling.
Especially because like he's my family, right? So I know his background. I know his trauma history, right?
Yeah.
Like my grandma dipped on him when he was a year old. So like he doesn't have a very, very good relationship with women. The only woman in his life that was consistent was my mom because they're a year apart. So they almost grew up like twins, you know? So he relied on my mom heavily. Like my uncle lived with us until I was like 15, 16. Like, he always had his own room in my crib, like, no matter what. Like, he always came. It was to the point where my mom and my uncle were so close. His name is Melvin. My little brother, his name is Selvin.
Oh, the name was close, like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
because my
okay.
uncle's Melvin, right? That's
Yeah.
my mom's twin, literally, right? So she's like, I want a daughter, and I want a son, and
Yeah.
if I have a son, because she's the daughter first, right? She's oldest, and then
Yeah.
the son, right? My uncle. So she's like, if I have a daughter, which is me, I'll have a son afterwards, and if I have a son, I'm gonna name him after you.
Wow.
And so I've thought about it too. I'm like, okay, if I have kids, I know I'm gonna have a girl first, and then
You
I'm
just
gonna
feel
have a
it.
boy,
You know
right?
it. Yeah.
I just know it because it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I already know what I'm gonna name my son, because
You're-
I'm just gonna name it after my brother.
Oh, after your bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kelvin.
yes, sir. Yeah.
Melvin, Selvin, Kelvin, you
Yeah.
know? So I was like, that's super cute.
No, that's hard. I
Right?
fuck with that. So back to the nail thing. You was talking about how the two girls that you met, y'all would always talk like the horoscope and all that type of thing. I want to ask you. So, how many clients would you say you had from the moment you started up to now? How many clienteles total?
How many clients total?
Not total, but like roughly.
Roughly? Let's see. Like, in the first 2 months, I had maybe 60 clients.
Damn.
Because I was doing like 30 clients a month.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
like roughly one a day?
Roughly one a day or like 2 a day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't every single day. So
Yeah.
it was like, it would add up, but it wouldn't be like exactly 30, it'd be like 28 or something,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
But since I came to Edmonton this week, I've been pretty impressed with the clientele here.
The bread's just been going up.
It's been coming in, and I'm genuinely shocked because I'm not doing it for the money, right? So it's like, I'm just doing it to make all these friends. And then at the end of the day, because they love who I am and I love who they are, they'd be putting some fat tips on that.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
just like, okay, I have to be nice about it, you
Nah,
know?
that's
But
nice.
just this week alone, I came Sunday. I did nails Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, right? I took Wednesday off. I took one client in the evening. I've had about 14 to 15 clients within 5 days since I got here.
Damn.
I flew in on the 18th. I had already 3 clients on the 18th.
Like ready for you as soon as you landed.
Yeah.
Now the when I get into this, the one thing I love asking people is like, what was your worst experience? Have you had a bad one yet? Like someone coming in all like just crazy. Yo, you did it like this, but I wanted it like that. Yo, why the fuck did you do it like this? Have you had anything crazy like that yet?
I mean, okay, as a service provider, I try to make sure that I'm constantly asking them questions. You know, like, okay, is this length nice enough for you? How do you want your coffin? There's different types of shapes, right? Some people want their coffin shape to be more narrow. Some people want their nails to be wider. Some people want their fingers to look elongated. So, like, you have to ask them questions so that you can get what they want, right? So I be doing that a lot. So there's really no room for them to be like, yeah, she didn't do it how I wanted it. Because if I did do it how you didn't want it, that's because you didn't tell me, because I asked, you know? Like, I'm always going to ask you, like, okay, do you like this? Because I do not want you to go home. That's one thing, like, I know for a fact, because I've gotten my nails done plenty of times. I know for a fact I go home and I stare at them. I will find an imperfection, you know? I go to one specific girl. Her name is Ambitious Nails. She's so fire. I love Tay. But she has yet to disappoint. Like, I love going to her.
She's been
her
going
sets
crazy.
Are fire. Her shaping is, like, literally replicas on both hands. Like, you can never find something wrong with your nails, you know? Like, I love going to her. And she started off like I did, like in high school, just doing friends' nails. And then she just started a business from her home. So she's super inspiring to me, and she did such an amazing job. So for me, I haven't had any crazy, like, people telling me, oh, you didn't do it how I wanted it, because I asked, you know?
Yeah.
And so I always have to deliver, because I know they're going to go home and stare at their hands and be like,
look for something.
Look for something, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I have to make sure that at least I try my best. One thing I don't do, though, I do not let the client take the file.
Well, what does that mean?
The nail file, like when I be shaping and stuff, I do not let my clients
Is that
take
the
nail
stick
file.
with the grinder thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I do not let my clients take it.
Why is that?
I think about it as an artist. If Da Vinci had a painting, he would never pass the brush to somebody else, right?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna post these pictures, that's 100% me.
All you.
All me. Why would I pass the file to my client, be like, do it how you want it. And then I take pictures and that one finger is lopsided because they try to fix it, you know?
Yeah.
When I could have done it, even if it would have been lopsided, it's still 100% me, right? Like the authenticity of the craft was still me. So that's one thing I don't do is pass the file. Like I feel like me as an artist, that's my paintbrush and you're not gonna touch it, right? Because after that, that's my craft. If you want to go home and touch it after the pictures, go ahead, that's you, you know?
Yeah.
But while you're at my table, I suggest you don't.
You're not touching it.
You're not touching it.
Oh man. So since you're always bouncing from Van in here, you know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that most of your clientele is coming from Van. Is Van like, is that a nice starting spot when it comes to operating your own business, or at least starting one?
Oh, 100%. I love
You'd rather it there
Vancouver.
than Etown.
Well, okay. Well, I've been in Etown for a week. So I don't know if it was just because it was such a seasonal thing, like the holidays and stuff, that it went really, really well. But in Vancouver, there's a larger population. I think it's like ×3.
Yeah.
So like for every one client here, you could get 3 clients there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, people know people that know people. I've had a falling out with somebody this year, and I had a classmate, and I did her nails because she's like, I want Esme to do my nails after school, right? So she came to my crib. I did her nails. She's like, oh my God, like I love my nails. I'm gonna refer my friend to you, right? And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Like both of you get 10% off. Like that's my motto. Like if you refer a friend, both of you get the discount because you know, thank you, right? She's like, yeah, this is her name, right? And I was like,
did you say anything?
I was like, what's her last name?
Yeah.
And she said it too well. I was like, oh.
Who was it?
I can't. I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after. But yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, she's not allowed in my studio, bro. And she's like, oh, why not? I was like, let me tell you, right? So I told her everything. She's like, yeah, you know, I heard that she was like doing drugs now and stuff. I was like, what? Because from when I met her, I had only known her for a few months, right? And then after we had the falling out, I never heard from her again or whatever, right? And I guess she's the type of person to deactivate her social medias every 2 weeks for her mental health, right? I don't be doing that stuff. Like, honestly, I have self-control. I could just not go on IG if I felt like it, right? But she always, like, deactivated her stuff. So I didn't know what was up with her. It was just stuff I was hearing from other people. But, yeah, I heard that she was, like, into drugs now and stuff. And, like, you know, like, it was really weird energy that I got from her from the start. But me, I'm a super genuine person. So, like, the shit that happened was just kind of, like, uncalled for, you know? Like, you could have just communicated to me as a grown adult and been like, yo, I know this and I have to tell you it, instead of just being like, oh, by the way, like, I did this, go ask so-and-so about it and see what they have to say. Like, it was just so shady, and it broke my heart for real. I was super devastated for, like, 2 or 3 weeks. Like, I would have nightmares where I was, like, pressing her in my dreams. Like, I was like, tell me, you know? Like, I was
That's how heavy it was on your mind.
It was so heavy on my mind because I was like, I would never do no shit like that to her or to anybody, right? So I was like, yeah, she's not allowed in my workplace. Like, I'm never going to take her as a client. Like, she can go back to wherever she came from because I'm not taking her.
Yeah.
That would be the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. Having that coincidence where one of my clients is like, I'm going to refer you to my friend. And then the friend was like.
An op,
literally. Yeah. A federal.
So the one that said she would refer you to that friend, have you ever seen her since?
Oh, yeah, she was my classmate.
Oh, she was your classmate?
Yeah.
Damn.
She was my classmate. So that's why I was like, damn, the world is so small.
Yeah, not
especially, like, in Van. Like, even actually here in Edmonton, bro, it's even smaller. Because I've had clients, we have, like, tons of mutuals. And I'm like, I've never seen
you don't even know. Yep. And that's literally how it is.
Yeah. When they're like, you know this person? I'm like, yeah. You know that person? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what? The world is so small. The world is too small sometimes.
You can't do anything in a city like this because let's say you wanted to go ghost from the city for a little bit, like I don't know, you're just not on your phone as much. As soon as you hit West Ed or this and that,
you're seeing somebody.
You're seeing somebody, and if you don't see them, they'll see you, and for whatever reason, they'll tell everybody else. Now half the city knows you're at West Ed for whatever reason. Trust me, Etown's a small ass city.
I know. One time we went to West Ed when I was here last time, and I went in Montana, and there was like these people. You know HelloFresh?
Low Fresh?
HelloFresh. It's
Hello
like
Fresh.
the box, the delivery box with groceries, and
Yeah,
they
yeah,
deliver
yeah.
it to you and it comes with recipes and all that.
Mm.
There was a guy standing there. He's giving out these like coupons, right? He's like, yo, you can use more than once to get like 50% off, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? No way. Like, you shouldn't be doing this because then the brand is going to go broke. Like, you guys are giving too many discounts, right? And then we walk away, and Montana's like, I fucking hate that guy. He's and I was like, how do you even know him? He's like, I don't know. I just know him, and I don't like him. I was like, this world is too small, bro. I can't even talk to the HelloFresh guy. I swear.
Nah, that's how it is. Everybody knows someone, some way, somehow. You can't escape it.
You can't.
You cannot escape that. What are some of the materials that you use? Cause I remember when last night. I mean, I was kind of, you know what I'm saying. So I don't fully remember, but I saw some of the materials. Well, I saw you dip in the brush.
Powder.
Was it a powder? Yeah.
Yeah, there's
So what are
two.
all the things that you use?
So with nails, like I'm sure a lot of girls know this, but it's a pretty challenging concept because there's like multiple ways to enhance your nails. There's things we call gel, there's polygel, there's acrylic. They're all basically chemical reactions. And so, for example, what you saw yesterday, I was using a powder called polymer and a liquid called monomer. So when you use the specific brush, it's called a Kolinsky brush. Usually that's the only brush techs will ever use because it works best for nails. So you have to dip it in the liquid first. You have to make sure like your brush is fully immersed in it so that the liquid kind of balls up at the tip of the brush. So when you dip it in the powder attaches to that water and you have a ball of like a substance at the bottom of your brush that you put on the nail, and then you can brush it, mold it out so that you have a really fine, smooth acrylic nail, right? So that concept is called like acrylic nails, right? There's two types actually. There's one that is considered illegal now in Canada.
Why is it illegal?
Because the liquid to it is called monomer, right? So me as a nail tech, I have to use EMA monomer. So there's another kind called MMA. MMA is severely damaging for your nails. It's actually the type of acrylic they use at construction sites. So it takes a lot of work for it to get removed. Usually if clients come in and they already have their nails done, and let's say it's like EMA acrylic, I can easily file it down. Like easily my drill will just take it all off, right? But if it's MMA, my drill might stop. Like it might skip, because it's like so hard that it's basically concrete at that point. And even if I dip it in acetone is a dissolver for acrylic, it won't dissolve. So a lot of like cheap salons use that because to their idea it's gonna last you longer, they won't break, and they won't fall off. But that means you can't get them removed as easily, so it eats away at your natural nail because it's been there for so long, and the chemicals are so intense that it's not meant to be on your natural nail beds. So as a nail tech, that's one thing I have to look out for when it comes to product research. I have to make sure I'm not using things that will be like terrible for the nail growth, because honestly there's a misconception that acrylic and gels, they're not good for your nails. And it might be true, but I would say it's mostly true because of the nail technician themselves. Like if you're going to the wrong person, when they do your nails a certain way, they might not know what they're doing. They would use the wrong products, use the wrong tools, and then you're gonna have super terrible nails, right? But if you go to a certain person that knows what they're doing, they're highly educated in it, your nails, when you safely remove them, your nails will be strong, they'll be healthy, they'll be exactly how they were before the acrylic set. So you have to make sure that you go to people who know what they're doing, and when it comes to removing them, you have to make sure you go to a professional as well. Just because like there's me and other people that I know that peel their acrylics off or peel their gel off their natural nails, and it leaves little ridges on your nails. Eventually it'll start to create ridges on your nail bed, and your nail will never recover from it. If you have a damage to your nail, it'll almost never recover if you've damaged it internally. If you've damaged it from the surface, it should be fine, or it could grow out. But if it's like under your nail plate, like on your nail bed or in the matrix. The matrix is where your nail cells form for your nails to grow. That is basically like right like underneath your cuticle area, right? So if you damage that, your nails are never growing back. So you have to make sure you remove
Like
them
it won't
safely.
grow back properly,
It
or
won't
dead just won't grow back.
Both. It might not
Jeez.
grow back ever, or it might just grow back improperly. As well as ingrowns could be a cause of that. Like you could get ingrowns on your nails from having a damaged nail plate because your nails aren't growing how they're supposed to grow. So you have to make sure you go to a safe person that'll apply them properly and remove them properly, or else you're gonna have severely damaged nails, like to the point where your nails are lifting off the nail plate. Like,
no way.
I've seen it before. Like, I've seen it. It's like the nail, and then there's like just like a white line where it's no longer connected to the actual nail bed.
Yeah.
And it's not painful, but over time it's gonna get worse and worse and worse, and eventually the nail will fall off, right? So you have to make sure you go to specific people that know what they're doing. Like, don't just go for the cheaper prices, especially because in the beauty industry, although cheaper is nicer, but it doesn't pay off.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nah, I feel that. What about like whenever I'm on TikTok and I see like a quick 30-second ad, or a girl posting up, her nail stuff, they have this one where you put your fingers in, they kind of have this cover that stays like this blue thing that, do you know what I'm talking? It shoots out like this blue light.
Yeah.
You close it up on it. Is that just to quicker dry it quicker?
Yeah. So, okay, so there's acrylic, right? Acrylic dries with air. Like, just oxygen will let it dry on its own. But that chemical reaction, it starts off as a liquid, it warms up, and then it turns into a hard surface, and then it cools down, right? So gel is essentially that, except it hasn't reached the hot point yet. So it's not hot yet. So it's still liquid. You can still maneuver it, right? So you can get it in gel polish. You can get it hard gel, soft gel to build the nail extensions. But that light, essentially, it kind of continues the process. So the warm essence of the LED light will kind of heat it up to harden it. So it'll finish the process up. So same thing with gel polishes. Like, you can paint the nails on and then put it in the light. When you take it out after 60 seconds, it's 100% cured.
Oh, no way.
know?
Just
So
like that.
Just like that. So it's easy for doing nail art, because then you can just cure it in between layers, right? So like if I'm drawing like a heart with eyes, right? So the first I'll put a heart, I'll let it cure, and then I'll do the eyes. Let's say I mess up or I don't like the eyes, I can wipe it off and the heart will still be there because I already put it in the light, right? So then I'll do the eyes, and then I like it, and then I'll put it back in the light, and then I'll just put a top coat, and then it'll usually last way longer than regular nail polish would,
Jeez.
So a lot of people prefer that a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's instant drying. You don't have to worry about smudging. Like back in the days when they didn't have this technology, they would just let you walk out. Yeah, they would blow on it for you, or they would get little fans and wait for it to dry, and you couldn't leave. You couldn't check your purse for the bread before you dip. Like, you had to sit there and wait like another 20 minutes just for your nails to dry. But obviously, like, the beauty industry is constantly evolving.
Exactly.
Especially with nails. Like, there's a ton of different things out there now, so it's easy now to just make sure that your clients can just walk in and out without smudging their nails, without ruining them. Also, because it dries hard, gel is a really nice way to grow your nails naturally. It prevents them from chipping or from breaking. It's a really, really great way to do your nails. It's also a little bit more cost effective, but in the long term, it's better.
So you said in one day, you could like fuck around and have like 3 people that you would do in one day. What are some of your rates? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously I know it all like depends on what
Like
they
money?
want. Money, yeah.
Like
how much do you charge?
How much do I charge?
How much would you charge?
Okay, so I recently upped my prices because I am certified now.
Yes,
and
sir.
I was like, it's got to pay off at some point. Originally,
What was it before? Yeah.
Originally, all my sets were less than $50. All of them. So it got to the point where I was doing maybe 3 people a day, and because the nails were less than 50, I was only making like less than $100. Like, I would see 3 people, so one set of nails would be $20, another one would be $30, and the other one would be $30, right? So that's like 60, 80. So $80 in one day. But each client would take me like, I would be there from like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Damn.
And I only made $80.
$80. Nope.
So I was like, okay, well, at first I was a beginner, so I was like, I don't want to overcharge, especially because there's a ton of stuff that I haven't even tried yet. So if I have a person that comes in and there's something that they want me to do that I haven't done yet, I can't overcharge because I don't even know if I could do it.
Yeah.
Right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to start super low. I guess for now it'll just be the way it is, but eventually I'm going to, you know, grow, and I will have to increase my prices. So originally, the first month that I began doing nails and taking clients, all sets, like any length, shape, design, whatever you wanted, they were $25. So because I was a beginner, they were taking me up to like 3 or 4 hours to do, because I'm a very detailed person. Like, I will not let these people walk out with terrible nails, because then it's on their hands, right, for weeks at a time.
Exactly.
And also, it's like, that's your branding right there. You know what I mean? They go around, especially us as women, we like to chit chat, right? Like, who did your nails? If I did somebody's nails and I did a terrible job and I let them leave my house like that, and they went to work and all the girls at their work were like, yo, who did your nails? Like, in a bad way, you know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, this girl. They wouldn't come to me, right?
And they'll spread the word.
That spread so quickly. So the fact that they carry it on their fingertips, you have to make sure that your job is to your best potential. Not just perfect, but to your best potential, right? So now I've increased it.
To how much?
I do overlays. So overlays is just like on top of your natural nail. So it's like a thin layer with no extension. A lot of people do it to grow out their nails. Like, have you ever seen people with long nails? Sometimes it's their own natural nails, and they just have like a hard surface on top to protect it from breaking. Those start at 40 if they're shorter, 45 if they're a little bit longer, because it takes more product, right? But my short nails, like short extension nails, start at 55. All my prices include everything. So it includes like a Russian manicure. A Russian manicure is basically like a dry manicure. So I'll come with the drill. I'll lift up all the dead skin around the cuticle, clip it up nicely, leave your nails super clean, clip them, file them, and then begin the acrylic process, or the gel process if they prefer. But acrylic is more ideal because it lasts longer, it's a little harder, and it's nicer. So those start at 55, and then medium length 65, long 75, extra long 85. So now I'm seeing like for example, let me not get cocky, but yesterday I started at, I think it was 10 a.m. And then I finished at 6. So 10 to 6, right? That's almost a full-time shift. And I made like 150. Just at home, just doing my nails. And the whole time I just talked with my friends. That's literally it. So I just got paid to talk to my friends. And like 150 is not like crazy, you know what I mean? But if you're doing that every day, within a week you're making at least a band. Like this week alone, I'm pretty sure I made like just a band off nails.
No way.
And I just met people, talked to them. Also because it's in my crib, right? I can do whatever I want. So I'd be smoking them up. I have my little brother who lives with me, right? So I'd be texting him like, yo, bring me snacks. Like, he'll come upstairs, he'll have chips, Oreos, we have water bottles downstairs, iced tea cans, all kinds of like treats. So I bring them up for my clients. They can eat. I work on one hand first so they can eat with their other hand. They wash their hand, I do the other hand. And they're like comfortable, you know. I have an iPad. They put whatever they want on it, music, Netflix, Disney, like whatever they want. It shows on the TV behind me so they can watch and get their nails done if they don't want to chat, you know. Sometimes people have off days where they don't want to talk about anything.
They just want to come in.
One of those. That's cool, right? Sometimes people have a lot to talk about. That's cool too, right? Like, I'm here to listen. I'm here to like tell you my tea too, right? So it's really fun. Like, it's a really fun job. I love talking to people, so it makes it even more worth it to get to know these people on such a deep level, right? Especially because it's only me and them in the room. They're comfortable. They have snacks. Sometimes I burn with them before we start. If I have the time, right? We'll burn before I start, or we'll burn after. And we'll just chill. Like the other day, maybe this is so unprofessional, but the other day I had a really good friend. She was my first client ever in my life. Like when I first got that kit that made me begin doing nails,
she was the first one.
So I did her nails, right? I did them the other day. After I finished, she's like, let's take a shot. I was like, all right.
Fuck
so
it.
after we took a shot, and she's like, I'm so proud of you. Like, I was your first client, and I'm here, and you amazed me. Because her nails came out so
I
nice,
know
right?
you gassed
I
as
was
fuck.
so gassed. I was like, okay, let's take a shot. I choked on it, so I had to take
Damn.
a second one. But it was fine. We went downstairs. We smoked in my basement. She went home. She was happy. She was so supportive. It was really, really nice to see her. We talked a lot, right? So it's a great way to see your friends too.
No, that's nice.
I really appreciated her for coming out. But yeah, I mean, some people might think it's unprofessional. Maybe I'm not the type for you.
The thing is,
but I
and
try
plus
to
you're doing
make
it at the crib too, so
yeah, it's my house, bro.
Exactly.
Like you know you're coming into my territory. Like if I want to smoke with you, I'm gonna smoke with
we're
you.
smoking.
We're smoking.
Yeah, no, I feel
And
that.
I have, you know what? I have a plan because I thought about this yesterday. I want Montana to pre-roll backwoods, and I'm gonna just start.
You want your guests to hit them or to sell it?
Yeah, to sell it.
Sheesh.
So like like I'll get him to pre-roll backwards for the week, right?
Yeah.
Then I'll have them in like a nice humidifier jar or whatever. And then for an extra something, the client can purchase it and we'll smoke up before the set. I've done it during the set too.
Damn.
And I take pictures of them with their nails on and the blunt in their hands. I just don't post them because I low-key have family that follows my content, right?
Yeah.
But like I really want to become like a 420 friendly nail tech because I feel like that's so hard to find.
No, that'd be nice.
Yeah, even if I open up a salon someday, it'll be 420 friendly.
Yes, sir.
I'm saying that right now.
Yes, sir. Have you had any male clients yet? Have you ever had a dude come through?
No.
Do guys like I'm not even sure. Are guys really into these type of things?
They're not, but they should be. I'm gonna say that.
Why you say that?
Because the way I've been seeing these claws on men is like terrifying. Like Halloween passed already, and they still have longer nails than I do. Like
they don't take care of them. How do you take care of them? Cause like I used to use this thing where you kind of just scrub it, but is that really doing anything?
Like the file, like in front.
I don't know. Just
or we'll make it shiny, right?
I think so. Just some scrubby shit to get rid of all like the dead skin.
Oh. Well, I would say you can go to the nail salon and just get a manicure. They'll clean up all the dead skin around your cuticle. Men get that a lot because they're very hands-on people. In a lot of their fields, men do a lot of construction work, hands-on stuff. So they get a ton of dead skin, calluses. It's more common for men to have really rough hands, right? So I would say for men specifically, please go get a manicure, just a cleanup.
Can you do that?
Feel good about yourself. I can do that. Yeah, I don't mind. I do it for my boyfriend all the time, right? Like I just be cleaning his nails. I do his feet too. He's the only guy whose feet I'll do. Him and my dad and my brother. They're the only.
Why can't you do no other guy's feet?
Because I'm scared.
What are you scared
of? Take their
of?
socks off and those dogs gonna grab me. Oh no.
It's just that's the thing. I was gonna ask you, do you do feet also?
Not right now, but I'm planning on getting into feet because I really love acrylic toes. I feel like they just look so clean. I want to be able to do toes, but I'm planning to only do toes. That's if the client gets their nails done first. Because I don't want to be a pedicurist. I don't want to just sit there and do feet all day. I will only do your feet if you get matching hands or if you want your toes done and your hands are already done by me,
so hands is mandatory. You got to get your hands did first.
And honestly, I think I'm just gonna have to give a promo for the feet, because if you're doing your hands right, why would you pay full price for your feet too, right? So I feel like they'll go hand in hand together, 20% off your toes if you do your hands or something like that, right? So that's the only way I think I'll do feet, because even women also have sometimes they wear a lot of heels or they wear a lot of boots. So women sometimes they forget to take care of their feet too, right? And it's not a bad thing to not take care of your feet.
It's disgusting.
But I'm not a doctor. You can't come in here and expect me to cure you of all your diseases on your feet. I'm not gonna do that. The most I'll do is maybe make them look nice, but if you really, really need the help, there's real
people you can go to.
Real people you can go to that have, they'll take out your ingrowns for you, or they'll get rid of your calluses for you and stuff, right? They're professionals. But me, I'm more of a enhancer, so it's more of a beauty enhancement. Also, if you can't afford it, that's all good too. That's one thing that's I'm all about. That's why I try to keep my prices at a minimum, because I'm like, sometimes people just can't afford it.
Exactly.
And I was one of those people once, right? That's also why I got into nails, because I was like, I'm gonna do my own nails because I'm broke and I don't want to go pay somebody to go do something when I could do it too. So that's how I started, and I was like, okay, I just want to be an enhancer. I just want to make people feel pretty. I don't want to cure them of diseases and stuff. I just want to make sure these women walk out of my house feeling fresh,
feeling nice. Nah,
right?
I like that.
Yeah.
The last few things I gotta ask you is now that we're hitting the end of 22. You know what I'm saying? What's to come in 23? What are some of your plans that you got?
Well,
if you want to speak on them.
Okay, well, right now everything is in the air because we may move back to Edmonton, or we might move back to Vancouver if it goes well, right? So it's in the talks, but I will say whatever happens, whether we're in Vancouver or in Edmonton, I really want to get a 2-bedroom crib, and I want to make sure I have a sturdy nail room. I want to have a nice corner with all my nail stuff, and then I want to incorporate other beauty things, because I love learning, right? So I've thought about doing tattoo work too, like tiny tattoos. Like, I don't want to sit there for 8 hours and do a dragon on your left thigh. Like, I want to do like little ones on your hands. You know, some girls, they get just initials or hearts or butterflies just on their hands, right? And because I'm doing nails, I feel like it goes hand in hand. No pun intended. But but I feel like as a tattoo artist, you get the same word of mouth as you do as a nail artist, right? So it will work out. And I was thinking about that too. I've already got my certification in lashing as well. Like, I used to do lashes, but I felt like it wasn't really for me. Like, the most I'll do it is for my family and friends, but I don't want to take it professionally because I feel like there's a ton of competition. And for me personally, I don't think there's a lot of creative growth in lashing, because you can only limit yourself to some blinks, you know what I mean? So for nails, it's like you can do different shapes, different lengths, different colors, different designs. So I really enjoy nails. Lashing is probably going to be like just one of my like extra things. But I want to get into maybe like waxing or something else.
Like Brazilian.
Yeah. Something just like super small, you know? But eventually I want to run a one-stop shop. So I want to have a salon. I want to have all these rooms that I can rent out, right? So let's say I have 6 rooms. I'll have myself as a nail tech. I'll probably have another nail tech. And then I'll have a lash room. So I'll have a lash artist that'll come in there, rent out that room, get all her clientele, right? So then we'll have clients hopping from one room to the next room, to the next room, to the next room. And then it'll be like bundle packs. So like for a wedding or something, right? Shorty can come in, get her nails done, her hair done, her lashes done, a whole body wax, maybe a little tattoo or something, you know? And then it'll be like budget friendly too, right? Yeah, because I don't know, I just want to make sure people feel good at the end of the day.
That'd be so much bread coming your way. That's crazy.
100%. Plus it'll be 420 friendly.
Yo, you're serious about that 420 shit?
Yeah,
you
because you never see that. You never see that. You know, like I've seen on Instagram, I've seen lash artists that smoke up their clients, but you're doing their eyes, so their eyes are closed, so you can't really sit there and like, I mean, that's a lie. I'd be doing that. I'd be sitting there and chatting up with my lash tech. We talk a lot. But as a nail artist, you're like face to face, right? You read them. You read them on a different level. So I want to be able to smoke with them, chat with them, take my time. That's also why I take a really long time to do nails, because I'm in there for the moment. You know, like I'm not in there to get you in and out of my chair. I want you in there for the moment. Like I want you to forget that outside is cold as hell.
Whatever else is going on.
I want you to forget that the outside is a cold world, you know? Like in my crib, it's warm. You're smoked up. You're, hydrated. You got your water bottle. You got your snacks. You're watching your show. You're listening to music. We're chatting up. You know, it's just a moment of peace and a moment to take a break, because this world is super, super hard to get around in right now.
That's real shit.
It's getting really difficult for a lot of people, so I just want to make sure I'm that person to, give people like an ease, and then make them walk out and they feel really good about themselves. Like I've had some clients come in and they're just like, oh, I just broke up with my boyfriend of 7 years. Like, this is my first time getting my nails done since I've left him, and I want to feel pretty. Bro, I go all out. I have to because whoever your ex is, if he sees you and he sees that you're dolled up, he's gonna want you back.
Yeah.
And you're gonna say no.
You gotta shoot the nigga down.
Yeah, you gotta turn him down because somebody's gotta do it.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Nah, I like that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? That's about all I got to ask you. Is there anything you want to ask me before I wrap this all up?
Yeah, bro.
What's
How has it been since I've been here? Because last time I was here was when
There was nothing. One camera.
one camera. You didn't even have these
Nope.
blue things behind
Nothing.
me.
Man, grinding. I've been grinding. I literally I've been working. I've been going to work on my days off just to pay for all this. If I told you just how much one mic costs, you wouldn't believe me. Everything here is fucking expensive. I don't know why it's so much, but it's worth it. Cuz it's like when people first come in, they're like, "Yo, this place looks serious."
Yeah,
You know, this whole basement.
say, bro. Like just like because I like how you close the little curtains and stuff.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it makes it more private. Like I feel like your job and my job are very, very similar.
Like trying to make the other person feel good.
Yeah, like while I'm sitting here, I'm going to forget what's outside right now. You know, like while I'm sitting here, we're
Damn,
just
no one's
chatting
ever said
up.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's closed off, right? And I don't feel I'm not because I've known you for a while now, right? Like I know you outside of the podcast, and I don't feel uncomfortable being in like a dark room with you. You know what I mean?
Don't
Like
say dark. It's
not dark,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not like it's not like we're in the middle of like a big window or whatever,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
we
yeah.
are still closed off in a room, and I don't feel uncomfortable because it's like you're making it a place where people just come and talk about themselves,
Exactly.
right? And it's not even like in a narcissistic way. Like I'm not here to speak about myself like I'm the best, right?
Yeah.
I'm just here to share,
Exactly.
right? And you're here to listen.
And it's me. Yeah, I told you to come here because I want to hear what you got to offer, how your business is going, those type of stuff. Because just like how you said, you love to hear what other people have to say or talk about whatever. I'm literally the same way.
Yeah.
I could hear you talk for hours about whatever it is that you're doing, and literally I could just be like this, and I'm dead ass just
Are you
listening
really
to.
listening?
Oh,
though?
of course, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
You think I'm not?
Well, I don't know because if I was sitting here for hours, I could really go on for hours. And I don't
Nah,
know
I
if
mean-
you'd be interested in the whole. thing.
What? Don't do that to me. I had my longest podcast. I did 3 hours. I did 3 hours with this dude, and literally he talked more than I did. I'm literally, and then every time there would be a little gap where he's not speaking, I quickly jump in, and then he goes back again to talking for like another 20 minutes. I listen to everything. I feel like I listen
Is
too
that a
much.
Capricorn thing?
I don't know.
It might be.
I don't know
It might be.
because one thing, what do I know about Capricorns? I think was it petty or some shit? Aren't Capricorns petty? Are they?
I'm not 100% sure.
I don't
on
know.
that.
I don't know anything about any of that type
It could
of
be
shit.
you personally, because I've heard you're a petty man.
From who?
From
Montana?
the other petty man.
Now, how reliable is that, like, coming from a guy like that? If a liar told you he's a liar, how much of it would you believe? Like, if a liar told you another liar was a liar.
Bro, what? If another liar told me.
Okay, let me tell you something. If I grew up lying every single day, and you knew I was a capper, and I told you, yo, don't trust that guy. He's a capper too.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's not coming out right.
No, it makes sense because
that
then
make
would I
sense?
believe you that he's a capper
That
as
he's
well?
a capper as
Or
well.
are you telling the truth that he's also a capper?
What I'm trying to say is what I'm saying just as good, because he's saying I'm petty, but that's coming from another petty man.
Right.
So how petty am I really?
Well, I would say you're still petty because.
Yo, that was a rhetorical question.
No, I would say you're still petty because if he's petty, then he would know who else is petty.
I guess.
And if you were pettier than him,
No, I'm
she
not
would know
petty.
that
I'm not
too.
petty. I've been moved off this shit. It's just this nigga would not let things go. That shit happened how long ago? Literally, like,
but
bro.
is that not how your friendship with him works? Because
Okay,
honestly,
it is.
Exactly,
I'm trying to
right?
break that, but it's hard to break something that's already like molded into a form. Like it's hard
Yeah.
to break it
But
down.
you guys are gonna become grown men soon. You guys are gonna have.
We already
family.
are. What you
No,
mean?
like of course you already are. You're
Yeah.
24. Happy birthday, right?
Thank you.
But I'm just saying, like, you guys are gonna be grown men soon, getting married, having families, having kids. That petty stuff eventually will wear off. You guys will be way too grown. Like right now, you're grown, but you're still young grown, you know? And eventually you'll get grown, where the point is like, why are we even being petty, bro? Like, you're a grown man. Like, just leave it alone, right? Or it'll just be a conversation one day where either one of you has had enough on the pettiness, and you'll just be like, bro, let's just quit this shit, right?
Nah,
like, let's just stop being petty to each other.
Yeah.
And it'll happen. Because, like, honestly, like, I'm not a petty person. Like, I don't really get my lick back like that. Like, if I'm hurt, I'm just hurt. I'm depressed. I'll have my own corner. I'll cry about it. But I'm not going to go out of my way to make sure you know that I'm petty about it. Or that
Nah, in high school, yo, it could be 9 months later. The most pettiest thing I can remember doing was
to him?
No, not to him. This was to somebody else. There was this girl this was high school days. There was this girl that I messaged. She left me on red. I knew her birthday was in 8 months from today. Or from that day. I set a reminder on my phone. Her birthday is coming up. So when her birthday came up, I text her. I'm like, yo. She's like, what's up? I'm like, is today your birthday? She said, yeah. I left her on red.
I'm just going to blink and stare because
I don't do any of that type of shit anymore, but I left her on red.
Honestly, it was a humbling moment for her, I bet.
Oh, it had to be.
It had to be.
She messaged me again. She's like, question mark. I think I deleted it.
Yeah, it was a humbling moment. That's what, you know what? Sometimes people need to be humbled because it just creates a character. Like, there's some people who are NPCs that walk this earth because they've never been humbled. They've never been humiliated. They've never been embarrassed. They've never been roasted. So they just walk around like NPCs.
Like nothing.
Like nothing. They just like, they're loading screens. But like, people around me, like especially like Montana and stuff, the people around that he has, they're not NPCs because he brings it out of people. Like, you're not an NPC, right? Because you guys are petty to each other. You guys have a purpose to make each other laugh. Like, you're not NPCs, right? But like, I feel like everybody needs a humbling moment so that they can build their character up.
That's real shit,
right? Like, everybody who has a personality has struggled once. That's what I think personally.
Oh, that's real shit.
Because there's no way that you struggled and you're like, I'm gonna just be an NPC. Like, I'm just not gonna do anything.
What does NPC mean? Like, you're not real?
I think it's like a computer generated. Like, you know, when you play
there we go.
Like when you play GTA, right? The people that walk around the streets, those are NPCs. That's real life. There's people that walk around the street and it's like, oh, like, what goes on in your life? They're like, nothing.
What's going on? Yeah, trust me. Now, I be having those thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But EsmeVsTheWorld, you know what I'm saying? Let the people know where they could find you.
Yeah. So my Instagram is at GetClawedByE. My Snapchat is EsmeVsTheScorpio, so you can message me to book there. Honestly, I accept any messages. Like, I have all my platforms all over each of my platforms. Like, on my Snap, you'll find my IG. On my IG, you'll find my number. On my number, you can text me. So it's all open. I'm not hiding at all. So you can find me almost anywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can just book. I'll send you the link.
Yes, ma'am.
There's also business cards that I'm giving out. So at the back of them, there's going to be a QR code. You scan that QR code, click it, and it'll take you straight to my booking site. So you can just book from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of my work will be credited to my Instagram. I love Instagram. I think that has set the world free.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Like, if before we had troubles with our families starting businesses and our families creating financial freedom for us, right now, we're in a position where we could literally set our children up for great success.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
generational
wealth. Like, me right now, like, my family came from nothing, obviously, right? But they didn't have the marketing at the time. They didn't have the resources. They didn't have media. They didn't have, none of those things that they could reach out to other people for. But now we have it, and I say take 100% advantage of it.
Yep.
It's free.
And it's free. That's the best part.
Once they start charging for Instagram, I'm going to delete it, though.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hopefully, we're already somewhere where we don't have to really worry
because I already pay for Netflix, and it's too much. And I pay for Disney, Spotify. It's too much.
Way too much.
It's way too much. So the minute y'all see the subscription on IG,
it's over with. It's over with.
Maybe find me on Twitter or something.
Okay, it's your boy Convo and Marlo.
And Esme Cruz.
And I'm out.